All right, these matches are flying by. Before we go back and talk, we do have another contest. We have some Razer giving away some gear. There's a headset, there's a mouse, there's a keyboard. It is a trivia contest. There's a question which is, the Second Alliance tournament had a very specific ship distribution every team had to bring. What was that ship distribution in the rules? If you have the answer to that, send an email to CCP Etern, and you can win this Razer Anansi MMO keyboard, Razer Naga gaming mouse, and Razer Kraken gaming headset.
Which are the headsets that are being used in the commentary booth, actually?
Oh, cool, cool. So that looked more like FCing decided that match than anything else.
Well, that was a very interesting match because your votes don't count brought the perfect counter to what Verge of Collapse was fielding. But they failed utterly to execute in any way that would make any sort of sense whatsoever. I mean, we saw Verge of Collapse dive in with their assault frigates and their frigates. What your votes don't count could have done is pull back with their cruisers and slaughter all of those frigates in a very fast period of time while dampening the Verge of Collapse logistics. And after that, they would have had a free reign to do whatever they want with 3 crucifiers there to track and disrupt the remaining DPS. But not only did they not do that, but they went for a Balgorn first without killing the Guardian.
Yeah.
It just like, what was going on?
It looks to me like what they were trying to do was they had the plan that they came up with as soon as they landed on field, and they were going to follow it, and then they just didn't react quickly to the assault frigates all moving in.
Yes.
And even if they wanted to follow a plan from the beginning, the better plan still would have been go straight for the Guardian.
Yes,
that
go
could
for
have
the
also
Logi.
done pretty well if they would have lost Logis around the same time, and at that point it could have gone either way. But it definitely would have been, I think, the best if they had damped the Guardian, pulled back, defended their Aneros.
Yeah, that's one of those cases where the team captain or the FC at the time just has to have the cool and the experience to just zoom out, see how the field is playing, and react.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the hardest things to do during a tournament is to shift focus. You know, a lot you get tunnel vision. You say, this is what we're going to do. You work on doing it. And, you know, a lot of times it doesn't work out. And if you can't adapt on the fly, then you end up losing out a match that, in theory, you should have won.
I mean, surely you have to be able to do that. I mean, planning is fine, but I mean, you have to be able to react to what happens on the field. I mean,
Well, that's what separates the
that's
bad
exactly
teams,
right.
okay teams, with the really great teams. I mean, that's why we see Verge of Collapse going forward.
Yeah, it's something you don't think about how many things go into a tournament match. It's not just the staging, it's not just the theory crafting or the execution, it's the FCing. It's huge. It really makes a huge difference.
Well, I mean, they're at least winning the commercial contest.
Yes,
They've FC'd that one brilliantly. So, all right. We do have Hun Reloaded versus Agony Empire, and we do have their kind of profiles we're going to bring up in a second, and then we can talk a little bit about those. So Hun Reloaded with a bit of a longer path, losing to Dark Side in the first match, then beating Noir, Godfathers, End of Life, RVB, which feels kind of like matches that they should be winning and walking through. Agony Empire have beat Statistica, Pizza, they lost to PL, and then they beat MIF.
Yeah, and Hun actually was very, very close between them and RVB. The points don't really show it as much, but that was an ECM fight where it really could have gone either way. That was a nail-biter of a match.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Hun certainly have made a long path for themselves to the final, but we even said from the first day that, you know, they're going to be the team to watch through the losers bracket, and I still think that's the case. Agony, I feel like their road has been a little easier. Obviously, Pandemic Legion wasn't easy, but they did drop that match. I'll be curious to see this match for sure.
Yeah. Agony Empire was one of the teams that we were the most worried about, which Seamus really did not know what exactly to go up against them, because they have the ability to field Tinkers, Rushes, and other solid kind of blaster and drone-based setups. So they're a wild card, and I wouldn't like to be on the other side.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Hun Reloaded, we'll have to find out very shortly. I mean, Hun Reloaded are also a really good team, although they've also looked a little bit shaky.
Like a little bit. Yeah. I mean, they've been pretty solid, though. Yeah. I definitely say more. They haven't had the same kind of big penalty mistakes we've seen from, say, Verge or Dark Side.
I feel like they've been bringing very similar setups every time, though. Have they ever mixed? I don't know.
They've relied pretty heavily on some tinkers, I think.
But I mean, they do that last tournament. They ran the
And it
barters
did
for an
work,
entire
sure.
tournament. Anywho, the match is ready. So let's see. 100 Loaded versus Agony Empire. What do you say, Bach?
You know what? I'm going to go with Agony. I think they're the underdog in this match,
All right.
but I do think they have the potential of stepping up and winning this one.
Yep, I'm going to go with Hun. Agony could pull an upset, but I think Hun's going to take it.
I'm going to go with Agony.
Ooh, all right, all right. I do like 100 Loaded, and I do think they will win this one.